This is how to play All My Life by the Foo Fighters, and we're in standard tuning, and we start with a G power chord or a G5 played with the first finger, and typically by Dave with the little finger at 5th fret, first finger at 3rd fret. That's our G power chord. And then we have this pattern of 3 notes eventually, but just starting with 2 so that we're right with the beat. 1, 2. And then a total silence, which is done by relaxing the fingers here, and then 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. It's always 3 after the first 2. So relaxing to get that silence, and that palm muted sound, that chug, is done by having the outside of the palm here, just dampening the string slightly inside of the bridge, so just to your side of the bridge. It is different exactly where you place it on different guitars, so what you want to do is try and find that sweet spot. As always, we want to be around here with the outside of the palm here, and I can typically feel the metal of the bridge on the hairs on the back of my hand. I think that's quite a good. And this is planted all the time. Stick your little finger out a little bit if you're not muting as evenly as you could be. If we're too far this way, you won't get any sound at all. If we're too far this way, it won't be muted. We won't have that chug sound. So you're trying to find that sweet spot just there. And if you go past it, we no longer get that sound. That is all the intro and all of the All My Life I've Been Searching for Something, as I'm sure you know. The toughest thing I feel when I've taught this one-to-one as well is to try and get the speed of that part for many beginners or even intermediate guitarists. Relaxing with that wrist mainly and all your forearm, and just trying to make it like a pulse with the wrist. The forearm is still, and it's just a wrist motion, but you can't have any tension anywhere on your arm, and certainly not on your forearm. Otherwise, you won't be able to make it full throughout 10 seconds. Never mind the whole song. But let's just have a practice together now. So together with this G chord in 2, 3, 4. And that's a nice tempo, just to get used to it. Just picking the thicker 2 strings. And pause there, work up your speed, something like the speed of the record. It's great if you can play along to the record to really get the subtleties of it, but you've got to try and get it on your own first a little bit slower. For the verses, I choose to teach this with 2 options. A full, proper, as the record way, and a bit more of an easier cheating way that I've seen the Foo Fighters do plenty of times live, especially when the song first kicked in. They're doing kind of an easier strumming, and it's a little bit easier on the picking. But same chord shapes both times. We're muting strings 5 and 4 with the first finger, and we're hitting the G note from the G power chord with the middle finger, and then the 3rd finger is down on the 3rd fret, 3rd string, which means that the only 2 notes that should ring out when we strum the thickest 4 strings are string 6 and string 3, both at the 3rd fret. Gives us like this dissonance, but works really well in the context of the riff. We're going to play this one, chord number 1, which is a G minor essentially. We're going to move that up to 5th fret to play the second part of it. So starting here at 3rd fret, muting with the first finger. That is 5th fret, both the middle and 3rd finger at 5th fret. So we're just sliding along the strings. And then we actually slide up to 6th fret. They're the chords that we used. Here's the easier version. And the full proper version. That is much tougher on the picking hand, and in the context of, you know, the level of the rest of this song and things like that, it's not needed, and it's not played by the Foos when it, as I say, when it first kicks in. That muting is done when Dave Grohl is singing that. We want to mute it a lot more. When the song first kicks in, especially live, it's unmuted and it's more open. And I teach hitting both strings together, so both 6 and 3, and then just the thickest string twice, making that rhythm. It's just a simpler version of the full one, which is that's in full, and here. So to talk you through this rhythm, I'm going to say strum, meaning play string 3 and 6 together in strum motion, and then just 6. So strum, 6, 6, strum, 6, 6, strum, 6, 6, strum. And then moving to the 5th fret, 1, 2, 3. And then it's always that same rhythm. 6, 6, 6. Okay, if you want to do the full proper version, I warn you, this is at breakneck speed when it's done live, but it's great for you intermediates and advanced players out there that are wanting to challenge your picking hand. That goes like this. So essentially the same pattern, it's that repeated. You just got to try and get a feel for the rhythm and how it flows with the beat is a little odd. 3, 6, 6, 6, 3, 6, 6, 6, 3, 6. So strings wise, 3, 6, 6, 6. 3, 6, 6, 6, 3, 6, 6, 6, 3. It's always the same notes in the same pattern, but the rhythm's a little odd. One more time. Palm muting, both of them really, so stick your little finger out. And that strum, make sure only string 3 and string 6 ring out. And that easier version one more time, in case you're thinking that's a little daunting, which I think it is quite a lot for most people. Remember, in the verses, just keep it more palm muted, so the verses would be more. And when it all kicks in and it's really loud. And then in the chorus we have some really great chords, which I always used to play differently. I always used to play this with power chords, but we have this basically a C chord, but starting from fret 4. So C major shape, but move it up to fret 4, 5 and 6. And if we don't play string 1 and 6, we get that sound of the record, really. Hey, don't let it go to waste. And then we want to move this down. So what we're going to do is move everything down 1 fret, add your little finger on, and then we're on the next chord, which is a G power chord, just fretted in a different way to how you may be used to. So the first one is the C chord, but starting with the root note basically at the E flat. Slide that 1 fret down, add your little finger on. I would also play this note to add a bass note, but you could just choose to mute it if that's too tough of a grip for you to have that thumb like this. You could just do this, okay? After that, we have the C major chord, and this time we're actually gonna not mute the thickest string, we're gonna let it ring out, so it's a C/E, because we have an E in the bass. Wait. F bar chord, keeping me down. That is a 6 fret bar chord, the B flat. So that one more time. E flat chord, but C major shape. Hey, don't let it go to waste. G power chord. I love it, but I hate the taste. Wait, keeping me down. One more time, E flat. Hey, don't let it go to waste. G power chord. I love it, but I hate the taste. C /E. Wait. F bar chord. Keeping me down. And with the strumming for the chorus, I'm imagining if you're at this point in this tutorial that you can work out somewhat strumming patterns by ear. The one that I can kind of work out would go as follows. Down, 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 up, down, up, down, down, up, down, up. Hey, don't let it go to waste. But if you really struggle with that, I would recommend going down, 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 up for twice per most of the chords, and then just once for the last couple of chords. And then we're back into those verses, and then of course back to the palm muted G chord. But that is all sections of this fantastic song by the Foo Fighters. Let me know what other Foo Fighters tutorials you would like. You'll find more help at the website andyguitar.co.uk, and let me know what other tutorials you want in the description below. Bye for now.